Hello members of the video game forum, Martin here. Now if you've been hiding under a rock recently, you may not have realised that Microsoft just released the first details of the brand new Xbox, which by the way, they've decided to call Xbox One. Now, not being funny, but I'll get to the rest of the console stuff in a minute, but I'm fairly confident, now I'm good like 99.9% confident, that the first Xbox would be Xbox One. You know, because like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So, you know, you go up in numerical order. So Xbox One. Xbox 360, yeah, fair enough. It's a 360, but it's the second Xbox. So Xbox 3 would be, you know, the name you'd kind of want to hear, not Xbox One. That's going to make shit so fucking confusing. But that aside, anyway, that's just a name, you know, it's not really too much to do with the console itself. The look of it, it looks like a fucking DVD player, which I literally have about 5 meters from where I'm sitting right now. It's horrible. It's not even a box for a start, by the way. You know, a box is a square. Okay, and then again, I guess the other Xbox isn't really. But shut up. Anyway, it's like a rectangle, and from the top view down, on the current Xbox, you've got the kind of ventilation grates that go up in a spike on the side, which are cool. They look quite nice. But the new one has, it's kind of, if you look top down, you imagine a rectangle, it's split right down the middle. Left side, from what I can tell, is kind of like, I don't know if it's matte black or if it's that kind of really horrible, shiny, touch it once and it's dirty forever kind of black, which I really hated when they released the 360 Slim when it first came out. On the other side, the whole other side of it is what looks like a ventilation grate. It's horrible. Now, in the middle of it, if you're looking like straight on, you got the top and the bottom, and then the middle is kind of like separated by this, what looks like, from what I can tell from pictures, I'm just, you know, I haven't had chance to watch the whole event, so I'm just going off bits and pieces that I picked up. But it's got like a long silver strip, and it looks alright, I guess, but kind of looks like a PS3 as well. Not really feeling it, Microsoft. The first Xbox, as clunky and as tank-like as it may be, it's still got something about it. It's got that jewel in the middle. It's got, you know, like all these different layers on top of it. It looks fucking cool. It looks really cool. For like in 20 years, when that's like an official retro console, I don't know if there's, you know, not really like a time scale of official, but you know what I mean. That's going to look awesome. It's going to sit among the greats. And then the 360 came out originally. Yeah, it's alright. Like, some people like it, some people don't. I'm not a massive fan. I did like the fact that you could change the faceplate and stuff, but that never really took off, to be honest. And then the 360 Slim, I think, is beautiful. Apart from that, you know, shiny black covering that I was talking about a minute ago, when they brought out the matte black, that's gorgeous. You know, you got that real satisfying ding sound when you open up the disc tray, and the button on the front, like the touch sensitive button's really nice. Apart from when you're trying to plug in a controller, that's one thing. That's one thing about that console, is the USB ports on the front. Having them behind a door, you can't fucking see shit behind a door, and then inside the console you cannot. I literally fiddled for like 10 minutes with those things, and they're only USBs. Anyway, kind of getting off the beaten track a little bit. So the console's okay looking. It's very flat and, you know, sleek and things, which is great and wonderful. But I want something a bit different. I want my console to look like a fucking, like a huge tank, like the first Xbox did. I don't want it to look like this super sleek, sexy, stylish thing. Fuck that. No. If I'm going to be popping heads on the next Battlefield 8 or whatever, I want to feel and look like a badass. That's never obviously going to happen, unfortunately. But you know, I can get away with that. But anyway, the controller itself, it's okay. It's a lot like the original and, you know, the current controller, the one that's kind of been since the beginning, apart from that big gun controller that they had. But from what I can tell, the hand grips, whereas on what is now the Xbox controller, You have a lot of room for your lower fingers when you're gripping it around the back to move around the things. Now it looks like it's got kind of like a a flat piece of plastic, like a crossbar, between the two hand grips. And I can just imagine my fingers kind of resting really uneasily on them, and that's the worst thing, because my favorite thing about the Xbox console is the controller, because it fits so perfectly in your hands, and it's where your thumbs need to be, and it's got a nice weight to it. It doesn't feel like it's going to snap when you're getting really intense into like Call of Duty or whatever. And now it hasn't got a home button in the middle. It's kind of like at the top, and it looks like they've added shapes around the sides by what is now the LB and RB buttons. So it looks kind of weird. It kind of looks like a cheap third-party console controller, and a kind of like a step back. So, and then the new Kinect sensor is quite nice. I quite like that, actually, because the one at the moment is really garish. Apart from, like, I don't like the Xbox logo that they've got slapped on the front of it, just in case you needed reminding when that thing's staring at you 24/7 into your soul. Now, I know a couple of people who are in the gaming industry one way or another. So I've got some kind of information that's it's not secret or anything. It's just stuff that's not widely known. And also I haven't had a chance to, like I said earlier, watch the conference and stuff. So I'm just picking up pieces from where I can, here and there and so on, just so I can give you my honest reaction on things. From what I've heard, you can't. Pre-owned is gone. Like, pre-owned is basically not a thing anymore. It's going to work on a basis where you buy a game, and then you pop it in your console, and then the console registers that disc and that game with your Xbox Live account. And then you install the game onto your hard drive, and then once you've done that, your disc is pretty much useless. It's like a one-time use kind of thing. Not literally, it's not like completely useless, but it might as well be. You can now play the game on the hard drive without the disc in, which is cool. That's one thing I'll give them. I'll give them credit where credit is due. That's a cool idea. But obviously, to combat that, if you go and sell that game on to retail, whether that's even a possibility when the console comes out and the games start rolling, and then someone else buys that game, because that game's disc is directly linked to your Xbox Live account, they can't play it. Like, they can't play it flat out. Well, actually, no, that's a lie. They can play it if you pay a fee, and you have to have an Xbox Live account. So, not only are you buying the console, and then just because you want to save a couple of pounds here and there, or dollars, or whatever your respective currency may be, you have to pay a fee. You have to. What's the point? What's the fucking? It just blows my mind. So it's basically DRM. It's gonna destroy retail as far as pre-owned sales go on the next generation. Obviously, this generation is absolutely fine. And I've heard that a lot of major retailers have already backlashed, and they're saying, if we can't, if pre-owned goes this way, we're not stocking your games completely. Which is awesome of them. I don't agree with big corporations at the best of times, because they're all evil, money-grabbing pigs. But that takes balls. Like, that's to stand up and be like, no, we're not going to stock your games, knowing that that's their livelihood, and knowing that's obviously what's going to keep them afloat. So that's kind of really shit, but awesome on the retail side of things. There's one more thing that I really want to speak to you about. It's just slipping my mind right now. I'm just too busy focusing on that pre-owned bullshit. Like, that's fucking what? Why? So stupid. Yes, okay, you don't see a return those games the 5-6 times that they actually get sold on after the original release. Okay, I understand that. That's bullshit. Okay, I understand that you had to bring in fucking online passes, which I will go on about in another video. That's a subject for another day. Yeah, the retailers are what keep you afloat. You can design the game, you can create the game, you can publish the game, and then ship it out to retailers. But then what happens if the retailer isn't stocking those games? You can't make money. That's like the last port of call. All that shit before, all that shit, all the marketing, all the advertising, all the production costs, everything is bullshit if you don't have anyone who can sell it on. Think about that, Microsoft. That's fucking retarded. Really, really, really retarded and incredible bad business guidance. Especially since the rumours have been persistent for so long about this actually becoming a feature in the new Xbox, that Microsoft surely must have had time to take in the absolute horrible backlash, the tsunami of abuse towards Xbox. They must have noticed that, and they must have had time to rectify the situation, but obviously they thought, this is the way we want to go. No, thank you, Microsoft. I've been a loyal fan since the first Xbox, and this is the first time that I feel incredibly let down. Incredibly let down. I don't give a fuck about Netflix. It's cool, great. 4D is wonderful. BBC iPlayer, cool, awesome, great. I can watch them on my laptop. I have a machine which allows me to stream movies and to stream music and to do web browsing. It's called a fucking computer. I know you're Microsoft, and I understand you have your background and roots in computing, but I have a purpose-built machine. Its only job is to serve those purposes and other basic things like play a couple of indie games here and there or whatever. But this, far and large, is not a gaming console. This is a computer. The Xbox sitting in my front room underneath my TV in a big social environment is not a fucking computer. It's not a media player. It's a games console. It always has been a games console. It always will be a games console. In Xbox's heyday, when it first came out, it surprised millions upon millions of people with games like Halo. People who were like, this is for the hardcore gamer. The PS2, yeah, awesome, great, wonderful system, some incredible games on there. But the Xbox was for the hardcore, you know, the ones that you could burn fucking music to it to play over your games to make you feel more badass. Everything looked better, everything sounded better. Even the big gun controller, that was better. Like, I enjoyed that. I liked the feeling of that in my hand. And you've just fucked it all up. Literally fucked it all up. I'll hold back until E3. It's only in 20 days, so I hold back and, you know, bite my tongue a little bit, and hopefully they can pull something out of the bag. But far and large, this is pretty much my worst fears realised as far as Xbox goes. I was excited for the new Xbox, and now I couldn't give a shit. I really couldn't. Like, not at all. Does not bother me. I'm not looking forward to the release. All I'm looking forward to is those games. And all I want is a fucking games console, not a multimedia machine. Don't need your fantasy footballs and all your various players and your streaming abilities. I don't give a fuck about that. Give me good games, give me great functionality, and give me a supportive backend. Xbox Live, good servers. That's all I need. That's why I buy a games console. But anyway, that's enough ranting from me today. I want to hear your opinions. Let us know in the comments below. Basically, even if you don't agree with me, or if you share the same views, just pop them down there. And if you have any ideas or tips or anything for the shows, then also pop them in there. I'll be sure to get back to you and things. Please like and share if you enjoyed this little rant. And subscribe if you haven't already. Why not? And get in and get involved in the discussion. I've been Martin for the Video Game Forum, and if you haven't already, check out the Facebook. I'll put that in the description below, and I'll catch you guys next time.